Hello, my name is Miranda Wise, and I'm the writer and producer of the story that you are about to watch. Do not forget to like, subscribe, and share. Okay, so I hope you all enjoyed the show as much as I enjoyed writing it. And take care. I'll see you on the other side. Bye bye. Chapter 39, Cindy. Gerard hadn't called me all day, and I wondered where he was. I even drove by his house, and his Porsche was not outside. Well, then again, it could have been in the garage. But in fact, there did not seem to be any activity going on. Hardly any of the lights was on, except a small light that looked like it might have been coming from an upstairs bathroom. I wondered why he was ignoring me all of a sudden. I had only spoken with him twice that week. I called Ostina. I hated to disturb her on her vacation, but I needed someone to talk to. Hey, Cindy, what's going on, girl? Oh, she sounded way too happy. Hey, Ostina, how is your travel so far? Oh, we're in Louisiana at a campsite. A little scary, but we got these big, strong men with us. Stop it, Nate. Stop. Right. She started squealing with laughter. Then I heard him in the background. I bit my bottom lip. One thing I hated was chicks throwing it in your face when they got a good man. Ostina, I'll call you back. No, what's going on? You know, Gerard has not called me all weekend. I heard silence on the other end. Are you still there? Yeah, I'm here. But Cindy, I don't know what to tell you, girl. I know. I just needed someone to talk to. I was beginning to think he was seeing someone else. That thought frightened me, honestly. He didn't answer the phone until Sunday night. Hey, where have you been, Gerard? What do you mean? I had to catch myself. If I let on that I knew he wasn't home, he would know that I came by there. Well, I've been calling you, Gerard. I was fishing all day yesterday. I wanted to say fishing for what? Instead, I said, oh, I didn't know you were going fishing. Who'd you go with? Friend of mine. I hated men being evasive. Oh, I wish you had invited me. Listen, Cindy, I don't want to have to tell you this over the phone, but I don't think we can continue seeing each other. I thought I was dreaming when he said that to me. I know my ears did not hear that. I felt my heart stop. I was beginning to fall in love with this man. I mean, deeply in love. What was there not to love about Dr. Gerard Cornegay? Why so? So last weekend meant nothing to you? I'm not saying it meant nothing. Then what are you saying, Gerard? You think you can just get what you want and leave. That's it, You right? Enjoyed it. You enjoyed it just as much as I did. I couldn't believe this man. Was he that arrogant? I felt so cheap. I never got dumped. I always did the dumping because I wasn't trash and he owed me a better explanation than that. And I know you enjoyed it too, but what changed your mind? Did I do something? I never thought I'd find myself begging a man. I almost hated myself at the moment. No, I just don't think we're right for each other. Now, it would have been nice if you... It would have been nice to know that before last weekend. I felt my throat closing up and I felt my voice breaking and I hated that. Then he tried to flip it. Cindy, You were the one who called me to go out with you. If you noticed or were paying attention, I wasn't checking for you like that to begin with. You didn't have to go out with me, Gerard. I figured we'd go out and have a good time. And after you got what you wanted, you were done. He didn't say anything. I almost thought he was tuning me out. Cindy, I think you were in love with the idea of being with a doctor. What? You know what? Fine. This is the reason why I can't stand you high yellow niggas anyway. Oh, that's cute. That's weak, Cindy. Goodbye. He hung up. I could not believe he hung up on me. The next thing I knew, I was crying. Gerard not only disappointed me, he made me feel cheap. I called again. He still did not answer. Then I texted him. Gerard, I'm sorry for calling you a name. I don't usually do that, but I feel very hurt by all of this. I really fell in love with you, and I wanted this to work. I don't know why you changed your mind, but please call me. I think we can at least try and sort this out, or at least be friends. Call me, please, Gerard. Chapter 40, Nehemiah. There were a few reasons why I was starting to fall in love with Vonnie. First of all, she had her head on straight, and it was her wisdom and honesty that captured my heart. So many women had been trying to ease their way into my life, but I could see right through what they were doing. Vonnie was not like that. Things happened naturally between us. She was different. Other women brought food, wrote love notes, or were always looking for ways to be in my presence. I was just a man, not God. When women did that, it made me wonder if it was for real. Then the truth about them came out. Take Gerard, for example. Now, you see, I wouldn't have taken a woman like Cindy to bed. He called and told me he was done with her when he realized she had tried to go through his phone the morning after. Those are sneaky tactics nobody should put up with. That told him what kind of woman she was, and I advised him that unless he wanted a lifetime of that nonsense, he would do himself a favor and cut that short with Cindy. I held Vonnie's soft hand as we made our way through the path. We'd taken a walk, leaving Nate and Austina at the RV. We peered up at the stars once we stopped. We were almost back at the RV. By now, we'd reached Texas, where we would stay one more night after this one. Then we would head east again, home. I looked into her lovely eyes. Then I leaned down and kissed her. Vonnie, what do you want? What do you mean, Nehemiah? In life, do you want to get married again? I never ruled it out, to be honest. Good. I took her into my arms, and her head rested in my chest. Her hair smelled so good, and she was so soft. What about you? Would you like to get married again? Yes. I miss being married, but it took me a long time to get over Cheryl's death. Nehemiah, there is no time limit on grieving. Nobody can tell you how long to grieve. Remember that. See, this is what I loved about her. But Vonnie, I do get lonely a lot of times. So do I, Nehemiah. Then I heard her phone ring. She spied Cindy's phone number. She was about to answer, but I stopped her. She looked up at me. I shook my head no. No, I said, placing my hand on her phone.
No?
No, I shook my head again. She didn't answer, and I told her why once the phone stopped ringing. You see, she's gotten herself into some mess with Nate's friend Gerard.
Mess? What kind of mess?
She hung out with Gerard. The next morning, he found out she tried to go into his phone.
Oh, I can't believe Cindy would try some mess like that. What is wrong with her?
Yeah, and he told me about it. I told him he shouldn't put up with that.
I don't blame him, Nehemiah. He sure shouldn't.
We headed back to the RV. My brother and Ostina were inside eating popcorn and watching a movie.
This is so much fun, ain't it, Barney?
Ostina said as soon as we entered the vehicle and shut the door behind us. Hey, man, unless you plan on turning on the AC, you need to open that door, Nate bellowed. I'm sure they would definitely need the AC as much as they were warming each other up. Open the window, I told him. I don't need the bears out here smelling our food.
Bears?
Ostina looked genuinely scared. Nah, don't listen to him. He's special, Nate said. But in fact, he was a special one.
Chapter 41, Ostina. I hated when we reached the end of our trip. I had made the best of the last night because I knew that at 5 a.m. Friday, we would be headed back home. We had hiked, grilled outside, lit campfires, and sat outside drinking beers and chased each other with super soakers. It felt like we didn't have any cares in the world, and I thanked Nate over and over for the time we spent. He kept telling me,
It ain't over yet. It ain't over yet.
And by the time we were about to leave, I knew what he was saying. He presented me with a ring, a big diamond. Now, mind you, I'd never been married, so I can't tell you what carat it was. All I knew was that it was huge. And then he said,
Marry me.
I put my hands over my face. Tears of joy spilled from my eyes. Oh, Nate, serious? He nodded affirmatively. You don't think it's too soon?
Do you want to marry me or not?
He said, chewing his gum slowly. Yes, yes.
Nobody said we got to get married next week. But I know what I want. And what I want is you.
With that, he lifted me, spun me around, and kissed me on the lips. Ah! Oh, Nate, I want you too.
You all have already had each other.
Oh, girl, I am so happy for you. Oh, thank you, Varney. She came over and hugged me. Nehemiah began driving, and Nate decided to sit up front with him, leaving Bonnie and I in the living quarters. The huge vehicle rumbled through the pathway before reaching smooth pavement. The sun was coming up by then. So did Cindy call you? Yeah, she called, but Nate told me not to answer. Girl, Nehemiah told me the same thing. Did he? He told me that she'd knocked boots with Gerald, and now he doesn't want her anymore. Nehemiah told me the same thing. But you know what? We'll find out what's going on with her when we return. You know she is not going to suffer by herself. That's her. Bonnie said as we high-fived. Every day is the weekend for me and you. Every day is the weekend for me and you. Every day is the weekend for me and you. Every day is the weekend. Chapter 42, Cindy. Gerard never did respond to me, and after 3 days, I figured it was time to do more than call him. I baked a cake
and let it cool off before I placed it carefully into the box. No man could turn down my pound cake. I left Anita over my mom's house for an extra day because I was on a mission. There is no way I'm gonna walk away that easily, I said as I drove over to Gerard's house. I turned off the main road and onto a side road. My car went up a slight hill before his house came into view. I started growing excited. I had knocked on Suella's door before I left. I don't know why I was reaching out to her because I didn't even like her that much. Her car was parked in her driveway, but she did not answer the door. But she was the only one out of our circle of friends that was still in town. Otherwise, I couldn't stand that wench. I parked my car in his oval-shaped driveway. I noticed his garage was open and his Porsche was inside, and next to it was a Harley. I didn't know he had a motorcycle. I carefully lifted the cake and pranced up to the door wearing my DKNY shoes, black skirt, and white top. I had removed my braids and went to Vonnie's shop, and one of her stylists gave me a press and curl. I wanted Gerard to see me looking my best. I rang the bell and I heard him say,
"Get that, it's probably Uber Eats."
I wondered who he was talking to. I soon found out when the door flung open and Suella stood there wearing a pair of shorts and a tank top. I was floored. It didn't take long for my anger to set in. I couldn't believe this hooker. "You hoe!" I bellowed before dropping the cake and lunging at her. She didn't have a chance. She was much shorter than me, and she did not work out. She was just small, no muscle tone or anything. She fell backward and I landed on top of her. She tried to fight me back, but I was getting the better of this little hooker. Then I heard Gerard cussing before he made his way over to us. I had already punched her in her face at least 3 times. "You gonna come over here and be with my man?" Gerard pulled me off of her and shoved me away. I felt myself hit the wall.
"Are you crazy? What are you doing here?"
Suella gathered herself from the floor. I had whipped that tail good. "So this is the reason why you acting like that, because of her? I knew you were sneaky." "I don't know what you talking about, Cindy. What is you talking about?" Gerard looked at me and looked at her. "So this is what you do, Suella? Stab me in my back. I didn't know you even knew him."
"Wait, you two know each other?"
"Yeah, and I see why you been ignoring my calls.
No.
Because of that hoe."
No.
Because of that hoe."
No, Cindy. I told you I didn't want to see you anymore because you tried to go into my phone.
I was caught off guard. He looked at me. "That's right. I knew you gone through my phone because I got a notification in my email that someone attempted to go into my phone. Did you think I would leave my phone lying around without it being secure? I'm a doctor. There's sensitive information. And if you knew anything, you would have known that I would not leave my phone lying around unsecure with a hoe like you running around my house while I'm asleep." "I'm sorry, Gerard.
Get out.
I'm so sorry.
Get out.
I'm sorry."
"Get out. Go home. Go home."
Someone pulled up. It was the food delivery person. He headed up to the door. He quickly assessed the situation and gave me a quizzical look. "Is everything okay, doctor?"
"Yes, I'm fine, Ted. Thanks for the delivery."
He accepted the food and the guy drove off. Can you just listen to me,
Cindy.
Gerard? Please just listen to me.
Cindy.
Will you please just listen?
Cindy, go home.
He said with a calmness that scared me. Afterwards, he closed the door, leaving me outside. I was truly sorry for what I did. I headed back to the car. Once I got inside, I cried. I've messed up so badly. I could not believe I blew this. Chapter 43, Suella. I always knew Cindy did not like me, but the way she attacked me spoke volumes of her hatred for me. For starters, I didn't know she was even seeing Gerard. He took me upstairs to his master bath and opened his cabinet. I had a busted lip and a bruise on my cheek. Cindy wore a lot of rings, so when she punched me, it opened my flesh. Gerard lifted me and placed me onto the vanity and got a clean white cloth and ran it under the sink and dabbed my face.
Hold still, sweetie.
He said, dabbing my lip and then dabbing my cheek. I didn't know y'all knew each other.
I didn't know you knew her.
You were seeing her? I asked. He concentrated on doctoring me up while he spoke.
You remember the woman I was telling you about that was pushy?
That was her? He nodded yes. And then he said,
Yes, that was her.
He placed a small band-aid on my cheek.
Keep it there. You wouldn't want it to get infected.
I started crying. Cindy really hurt my feelings when she jumped on me. He pulled me into his arms. Tears were just pouring down my face. He caressed my hair and kissed the top of my head.
Were you two friends?
We were friends with some of the same people, but she never liked me, Gerard.
Oh, I can see that.
I didn't know y'all was seeing each other.
That's over.
You still want to see me knowing I know her?
That's a question I ought to be asking you, Suella.
I still want to see you, Gerard.
Same here. Are you still hungry?
I shook my head negative. I did not go home until Sunday night. I had been at Gerard's house since Thursday. He drove me and Rickles home. We talked on the way home, and the fight between me and Cindy we were no longer talking about. He hopped out once we pulled in front of my house, and he grabbed my suitcase, and I put Rickles on his leash. He took my suitcase into the house. I was thankful Cindy lived at the extreme other end of the street, or she probably would have came out there and started some mess, making a scene. I lived 3 doors down from Bonnie, who lived in the middle of the block. He kissed me passionately again as we stood in front of my house.
I'll call you when I get home, okay?
Okay, I said.
If she starts to mess with you again, you call the police.
I didn't want to disturb Bonnie while they were on their trip, so I called her once I got home Sunday. She came to my house accompanied by Austina. We leave for 6 days and all craziness breaks loose, Bonnie said. She sat next to me at the kitchen table and Austina hugged me. You okay, girl? Yeah, I'm fine now. I can't believe Cindy would jump on you like that. I do. She always disliked Suella, Austina. I explained to them what happened and where I was when it happened. But I swear I did not know he had been seeing her. And then I started crying again. Just thinking about it was so painful.
Oh, it's okay, Suella. You know, this is partly his fault.
No, it's not. No, it's not. He chose not to deal with Cindy anymore, and he didn't know y'all were familiar with each other.
But Bonnie, how could you say...
No buts, Austina. Cindy had no business going over to that man's house without letting him know. And if a man tells you he doesn't want you, walk away. But the same things she did to Craig was done right back to her.
Ooh. Well, I can't dispute that.
I noticed something on Austina's left hand. I grabbed her hand. Is this what I think it is?
Oh, yeah, girl. It happened when we were on our trip.
I stood and hugged her. Oh, congratulations, Austina. I'm so happy for you. Have you set a date yet?
No, this is just to seal the deal that it will happen.
When she giggled, she lit up. I'd never seen her smile so much until she started seeing Nate. I was so happy for her. I felt much better once they left. Bonnie always had a calming effect on me like that, but I vowed to never speak to Cindy ever again. Chapter 44, Cindy. I was sitting in my living room going through the phone when the door opened. My daughter stepped in carrying her overnight bag. Craig stood just outside the front door. I headed over to speak with him. Was everything okay?
Yeah.
It had been almost 2 months since he proposed. He seemed rather aloof these days. Hey, can I talk to you? I asked.
Sure.
I closed the door behind me and stepped outside. You know, Craig, I have made some mistakes. And
where's this going, Cindy?
I think I made a mistake turning you down. I hope that the offer is still there. He looked away. He looked up the street towards Vonnie's house. Maybe we can work things out after all. I noticed he had a brand new car. He must have been doing well, and all I had to do was be patient all along. I realized he was a good man, and he looked 100% better.
Cindy, I believe you're right.
Oh, okay. So
right about us not being right for each other. I've gotten over it now. And when you turned me down, you helped me. You removed the burden from me. The burden of uncertainty. The burden of feeling unloved. I've moved on, Cindy. We will continue co-parenting like you suggested.
He walked away abruptly, and when he opened the door, I noticed a woman sitting in the car. That added insult to injury. Brand new car, new job, and another woman. Seems everyone around me had moved on to better. Even Austina had found someone. It felt like I'd been left out in the cold. Suella had taken my man. Nobody would convince me that she was the reason for him not wanting to see me anymore. Who knows what she told Gerard about me? When I returned to the house, I noticed my daughter was wearing a tennis bracelet. Hey, boo, where did you get that? I asked. Oh, this... Miss Rita bought it for me. Rita? I wondered who in the heck was Rita. Yeah, Dad's girlfriend. When did he get a girlfriend? Well, he was seeing her before, but they started seeing each other again. He says he wants to marry her. That was a dagger to my heart. Chapter 45, Nehemiah. Do you
Nathaniel Benjamin Grant, take Austina to be your wife. I do, my brother said. And do you, Austina Lorena McCrae, take Nathaniel to be your husband?
I most certainly do.
I now pronounce you husband and wife. Kiss your bride, sir. Nate lifted her veil and kissed her. I almost thought they would still be kissing when everyone left. That kiss was so long. But I was happy for my brother, and Austina was a good woman. I looked down at Vonnie. We had met a year ago, and we were about to be married in a month. It was now summertime again. Hey, baby, you ready to do this again? I asked her. She reached up and kissed me. The audience laughed because I was his best man. She was the maid of honor, and we were standing behind them, kissing each other. The minister cleared his throat. Shame on you two. Congratulations, brother. I hugged Nate. Thanks, man. Thanks. Every one of our friends attended the wedding except Cindy, who had sold her house and moved away. Gerard and Suella approached us. She was well into her pregnancy now. They planned to be married after she had the baby. I got on his case for that, but he wasn't listening to me. That evening, after I saw my brother and sister-in-law off to their honeymoon, Vonnie and I sat on my bench on the sun porch and enjoyed a single ice cream cone. Together, yes, we were sharing a single ice cream cone.
Nehemiah, you know what I used to say about you when you first moved into this neighborhood?
What?
That you were mysterious.
Mysterious? Why is that?
Because you were just so hard to figure out.
I didn't know anyone was trying to figure me out. Now do you think I'm so mysterious now that you've gotten to know me? She looked up at me and said,
Yeah.
I pulled her closer to me. I love you, Vonnie.
I love you too, Nehemiah.
And then we locked in a kiss. I was now 48 years old, about to get married again, and I did not know that I was going to end up with such a beautiful woman.
Stop living for the weekend, live for today. A whole lot of things might be at stake. Your peace of mind, plus your sanity. Any day show your love for family. Never know when some calamity might come into your world like a crazy bat girl. Hello. I see you're still here, and I hope you enjoy. First, let me do a little bit of advertising. Planet. That's one of my shows on YouTube. It's a science fiction type of show where this lady discovers this planet that only women can live on. Men can't live there. So it's called The Planet, and I have 2 seasons out, and it came out back in 2024. Can you believe we are already in the new year? Well, anyway, so I hope you all enjoy this series, The Mysterious Neighbor. And don't forget to comment, leave a like, share, give me some feedback, because the only way that I can continue to entertain is for people to let me know what they like or what they don't like or whatever. My writing is for my audience. It's not for me, it's for my audience and those who enjoy. So we can see that Cindy was a trip. Now, I think I'm going to give you a take on all my own characters, because the characters write themselves as time go on, okay? My take on, first of all, let me go in order, because you heard from Austina first. Austina was silly. Austina was a little flaky, but she was sweet, okay? Now, I see that you can see that her Nehemiah's twin brother played a little switcheroo on Ostina. And she said, I don't even know which one of y'all I fell in love with. But he really, really liked her. But Nehemiah wasn't really checking for her like that, right? Then when you go to Cindy, Cindy was a selfish hoe. Oh, she was out to get hers, but she got hers. And a lot of people didn't like how she treated Craig. Then when you go to Vonnie, Vonnie was the more practical one. That was the one that sort of had her head on straight. And that's the reason why Nehemiah chose her. Because he needed a serious woman, because he was a serious guy. Serious men do not like silly women. He was not checking for Ostina, even though Ostina was just as fast and fresh as she can be. Nehemiah wasn't checking for her. He's like, that one over there, Bonnie, now see, I can roll with her. Then you had Suella, who stole Cindy's man, but not even on purpose. Suella was just going about her business, taking care of Dad. And Dr. Cornegay happened to like her. He had been liking her. He just eventually said something about it. He didn't know they knew each other. So this is why I said, this is like no other novel you've ever seen. There was so many corners and twists and turns. And I mean, this thing twisted and turned like the DC Beltway on the outer loop. And if you ever been on the outer loop, and the way that thing swerves around, y'all will know what I'm talking about, especially when you're going around that Mormon temple. Yeah, when you're on 495 and you headed towards Northern Virginia from Maryland, and that thing start going like this, you better know what you're doing. And I always know what I'm doing when I put these twists and turns in there. And I love surprising people. So people are like, whoa, didn't know that was going to happen. Yeah. So with all that being said, I'm glad y'all enjoyed it. If you still here, if you made it to number 8, you did enjoy it. And I hope you did. And there'll be more to come, but probably not into the summer. But if I come back, jump back out here with both feet in the future, before the summer, then I'll let y'all know. Here's the thing that I want y'all to know. These episodes and all of this work that gets put in there and all this editing and recording is not easy. It is time consuming. That's why a lot of times I try to knock it out the park, knock it out the box or whatever, get it done. So with all that being said, please like and subscribe if you're feeling my vibe. And my name is Rand Wise. And I want y'all to take care of yourselves and stay cool, because for some reason it feels warm. All right. Take care. Bye.